Good afternoon. It is Friday, May 29th. Meant to get an episode out yesterday, just didn't happen. Just life has been busy and crazy and stuff like that. Um, Sometimes it's tough just to get stuff recorded, unfortunately. But then yesterday we got some news from Walt Disney World of all places. Carousel Progress gonna shut down on the 5th of July and gonna reopen in 2027 as kind of like a new Carousel project progress, a very updated um, Carousel Progress, which in my opinion is definitely a good thing. But I'm gonna call this episode "Change is Good" more than that's what I'm just gonna call it. Because there's a lot of uproar whenever Disneyland, Disney World, any of the Disney parks, make a change with an attraction that is very beloved, they're very liked, or goes back to many years. When I rode Carousel Progress in 2023, yeah, 3 years ago. Um, I remember being in the middle of the ride and being like, this thing needs an update. This thing needs to be changed. This thing needs to switch it up. And then wrote it again in 24, and my opinion didn't change at all. I was like, this thing needs a big update. Um, so I'm actually happy that it's happening because it's dated, especially in a Tomorrowland land that overall feels dated. I think the change will be good, and change is important in my opinion. Disneyland, Disney World, these Disney parks, while we feel like they are complete, they never are complete. They need to be updating with the times. They need to be updating with the technology. They need to be always spruced up, basically. If they don't do that, uh, it's hard to say this now because it seems so far fetched. It just doesn't seem like it's possible. But the generations to come will see Disneyland, Disney World, these parks as antiques and places that you just don't really care about going. They have to stay with the times. Look at Vegas. Vegas is updating itself every single year. They're putting a ton of money into these casinos, these buildings to make people want to come, make people want to see what's going on. uh they're staying with the times. Disneyland, especially, I'll pick on Disneyland more than Disney World. Disney World actually think has done a better job at this, um staying with the times and kind of remodeling where they can and stuff like that. Sure, do things kind of take longer than they should? I think they do, but we're seeing with like Universal, especially, the technology that's getting put into place, the different things that they're able to pull off. They're very impressive. Disneyland needs to kind of, in my opinion, kind of like put their money where their mouth is a little bit. Um, it's going to be interesting to see what the new Avengers stuff is at, DCA, and, these different things that they're like the Coco ride. It's going to be interesting to see what they turn out to be and things like that. And you don't have to change everything. I do believe that there needs to be a present of old, but there does need to be a present of new. And like the present of old, of like the Haunted Mansions of the world, the Pirates of the Caribbeans of the world, those are classics that I feel like can withstand time. They're so good, they're so well made. They're just classics. But there's other ones that are like, yeah, things could change. And it's okay. Change is fine. Change is great. Change is needed for, the times, and to keep the generations that are coming interested, because, well, our generation just isn't going to live forever. And eventually, you got to catch the imagination of the generations that's coming down the pipe. Money is a big issue, and I get that. Money is things are costly and expensive, and I just made the video about Tomorrowland, and I had fun liberties of just being like, do this, do that, and I understand, what I said on my video probably costs $1 billion to do. Um, sure, it's not my money, so I can say whatever I want. Well, actually, probably well over $1 billion. Actually, not thinking about the roller coaster I want. Um, but at the exact same time, certain things, Tomorrowland's the easiest one for me to pick on at Disneyland. Change is needed, especially there. Things need to get better, but kind of going full approach here. Carousel Progress was kind of outdated, and I think it's a good decision to, you know, give it a 2026, 2027 uplift. I think it's a good idea. Um, all change isn't bad. I think this is a good change and one that is very needed. So, all right, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'll be back on Monday. Sorry I didn't get an episode out yesterday. Just been busy over here trying to make that money. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So, but thank you so much for watching if you're here. And yeah, I'll be back Monday.